Hall of Fame shit, nigga. Keep it, come on, get out there, get out there. Good catch, my boy. 5 Unit Nation, man, number 1, man.
Hey, my dog, run this shit up, man. Let's go on, we found.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of SGDS Same Goals, Different Struggle Podcast. I am your host, Ajay Brown. This is episode 111, y'all. And today, man, so look, it was a toss-up between this Cam Newton goddamn interview and this Anton Daniels shit, right? And I was going to do the Cam Newton shit today, but I'm going to probably just go ahead and do that tomorrow, Friday. So I'm going to do a reaction to this Anton Daniels side shit, right? And I usually don't get into this type of shit, but just watching the previews, the interviewer probably just the dude who made it, right? That nigga made me want to watch this shit because it just look funny as hell, right? I'm gonna try to give less opinionated on this shit today. I just want to go ahead and go over some parts of it. I haven't watched it. I don't know what she's gonna say. All I know is she's a Trump supporter, so I want to see how this shit gonna go, man. Like I said, if you haven't heard of me before, my name is Ajay Brown. I talk music, politics, relationship, mental health, sports. But lately, I've been on this relationship and black women and black men type vibe right now. So that's what I'm on, and that's what the fuck I'm gonna be on for right now, y'all. If you don't like it, exit yourself up out of here. If you haven't watched it, take a look into this shit, y'all. We about to watch this shit together, all right?
See the headlines. Entrepreneur and TV personality Anton Daniels accused of saying up the rumors.
Here's another very challenging question, but I have to ask you. I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex? Has Anton ever flirted with you?
Flirted with me as a sense of what?
Does Anton have you on an NDA?
He does give out NDAs to a lot of people.
What happened between him and Corey Holcomb? Have you met Anton's wife?
Yes.
Do you think you look better than his wife? Has Anton met your husband?
In person, absolutely not.
Now, I'll be honest. When I saw this picture, I was flabbergasted.
Why?
There's no way my wife would be physically touching, leaning on another man in a way that suggests I'm feeling you, I like you. So which point was this?
This is the second time.
Oh goodness, the second time?
I am a conservative. I am a Trump supporter.
What is it that he's done that I and others have benefited from?
Donald Trump has a track record of actually doing things for the people.
I think that was a colorful response, but you didn't answer my question.
Answer your actual question.
This is my show, not yours. I'm not answering your question.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has a perspective. What's yours?
Micca, thank you for being here.
Before I get started, she is fine as hell.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. The reason why I really wanted to talk with you is obviously the whole incident between Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb was propagated all over the internet. And your picture came up a lot. And we're going to get into everything that was said about that. But for full transparency, I think the public should know that I used to be your executive producer for a show that I walk. Importantly, I wanted to, what, Micca? No, I do. It was a great show. I had my time there, and I really wish everybody well who's still there. But again, because I have a personal relationship with you and your husband, I know you guys outside of the work that I've done with you. When I saw this information, I thought it was important for me to have a sit-down conversation. At first, I thought, should I even delve into what feels messy? But I think there's a deeper message. Mm-hmm. And I had several people who sent me the content in my DM and said, isn't this your girl? Isn't this the young lady that was on the show you used to produce? I said, sure. And I thought about it, and then I made a decision we should talk. So thank you kindly for accepting it. Many people know about you, but some people don't. And I think this is the opportunity to let people know who you are. So I know you from a conservative perspective.
Yes.
I know that you also have your own show, and you do much around politics, and you're obviously an aficionado of President Trump. So let's begin to tell people about who you are, and more specifically, your role as a conservative.
Okay, well, if you guys don't know, my name is Pop Culture Micca, or just Micca. All right, I am a conservative. I am a Trump supporter, whatever you want to call it. That's right. However, my conservative views are not based on Donald Trump. My entire family has always been conservative. We've always had just those types of values. And then when it comes to me being an adult, just having the luxury of smaller government, wanting smaller government,
Yep.
wanting, not to be taxed for every little thing, and just understanding how government actually works. It wasn't a thought for me to not be, liberal.
Yeah, do you feel that mainstream media accurately represents conservative Black women?
No, absolutely not. I don't think it represents conservative, values or people good at all, but especially not anybody of color.
So what's the difference between a person, and I feel like I know this because I'm conservative as well. I am just not a Republican. But what's the difference? Sort of elucidate or explain to the public what's the difference in an individual who's a conservative that isn't a Republican and hold those values, and then one who is a conservative and also happens to be a Republican.
Okay, well, there is a difference. However, I'm what's called a Trump Republican or a MAGA Republican, right? So I tend to, because I'm a conservative, I vote Republican, but I am registered as a non-affiliate, because my whole thought process is, you want to make sure you listen to both sides, but in this day and age, liberalism has gone just far to the left. So there's no way I would, be able to vote for that. But I want to make sure that I'm not just voting, Republican just because it's a party that I normally agree with. I vote that way because that's where my values lie. But if somebody is, a part of that party, you have to also still press them. You can't just capitulate because you're a part of that party. So that's why I tend to stay non-affiliate. But most of my values and every time I've voted, it's been Republican.
Speaking of President Trump, I know that there was the White House took down a racist video today. By the time this show airs, it would have been much conversation about it. But the racist video was of the Obamas. Their heads were placed on an ape, if you will. What's your take on that? It seems that the mainstream media reported that the president manages his own Twitter account, and about midnight or 12 a.m. sometime is when the video was posted. A video meme, and it appears to be very racist. What say you?
Well, everything that Donald Trump does is racist in the mainstream media's eyes. But when you get into it, the video was, I want to say maybe a couple seconds long, but the video has all of the Democrats in it. All of them. They only focused on the Obamas because, of course, of the the trope of Black people being monkeys or apes or whatever. Would I have personally done it? No, because I know how it will be taken and look and things like that. And I know that the mainstream media doesn't allow for nuance. I know it doesn't allow for certain variations, and I would know that they won't play the entire thing, and that would be the focus. So I wouldn't have done it, but I do understand the video in its context. It's like he's the Lion King, he's the king of the jungle. It's just it when you're already hit with the racist trope, even if it's not true, which is I can understand that because I'm hit with something and it's not true. the perception. You don't want to put out more.
It
things.
implies the trope. It implies
Right. It implies that that's what you were going for, even if it wasn't.
correct.
So I wouldn't have done it. But again, anything Donald Trump does is going to be under a microscope.
And let me get your take on what Tim Scott, the only Black Republican in the Senate, this is what he said. I quote, "Praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it."
Well,
Do you espouse that thinking?
I don't think it's the most racist thing I've ever seen, or the most racist thing out of this White House. But I don't believe it's appropriate to keep up.
Let's call a thing. Is President Trump a racist to you as a conservative Republican, Afro-Latino woman? Is President Trump a racist to you?
No.
Okay. By evidence of what that he isn't?
By evidence of his track record.
And expound what the track record is.
So Donald Trump, it has a track record of actually doing a lot of things for the people, meaning everybody, versus just talking about it, versus just grandstanding and actually not doing anything but using a group of people to do something. Like when he says he's going to hire the best, and if it's a Black person, it is because that person is the best, not because I just want to have a figurehead that's just Black or that's just Latino. That person is actually a qualified person.
Is Patel Cash a figurehead? Because I think he's the only person of color in the Trump administration. It appears that the bulk of the Trump administration is predominantly white.
No. So the other person would be the HUD secretary. He's also Black.
Yeah, who's invisible.
No, he's not invisible.
We don't hear about him.
Well, the mainstream media doesn't promote it. That's not my problem. That's not Trump's problem. That's the mainstream media's problem. Because the mainstream media also doesn't promote the fact that Joe Biden is a racist. And so is Kamala.
Yeah. Now, when you mentioned earlier, and then we'll sort of pivot from Trump, that Trump does something for all people.
Yes.
Give me an example of what all people, including Black Americans and people of color, Black and brown, have benefited from. What is it that he's done for all people that I and others have benefited from?
Well, I would say let's start with immigration, because let's be clear, the money that gets allocated to immigrants, especially in places like Chicago, can actually go to Black communities, can actually go to Latino communities that are actually here legally, right? When you allocate funds to a group of people that are not paying taxes, that don't contribute to the community, and you're not putting them in these white liberal communities, you're putting them in Black communities, you're putting them in communities that are already in despair. When you send ICE there, which, if you ever seen an episode of my show, The Red Cup, I've had Chicago Flips Red on, and Chicago Flips Red are all Black women, and they are Republican, and they talk about the high taxes that the Democrats are putting on the Black liberals there, instead of actually doing fiscally safe policies. All of these things affect Black communities, but they don't put that in the forefront. They only put, Donald Trump just wants to get the Latino community out of there, but there are already Black and brown people there. And by having Donald Trump sending people like ICE, you take those people out and the resources go back to the people that they were actually meant for, not these illegals that don't have any place here. It's not our job to take care of them. They can go back to wherever they came from, because if it was us in Mexico or any other place around the world, because they come from all over the world, not just Mexico, nobody would care. They would send us back home.
I think that was a colorful response, but you didn't answer my question. Because I want to be able to make sure. No,
that is direct, because the funds allocated, those are Black people.
But what I'm asking is, can you anecdotally identify something that President Trump did for all people that myself and other Black and brown people have benefited from, or has leveraged us as a community? I'm just asking for an example.
I just gave one.
Okay.
Which is immigration, because again, you have places like Chicago, and the reason why I harp on Chicago is because Chicago has the highest, one, if not in the country, the highest deaths among Black youth, Black people in general. They take out shot spotter. They take out all of these things.
So when you say immigration specifically,
because communities, they take away housing that's for Black people. They take away maybe social services that are for Black people that directly affects them. You have
but how does that benefit me and other Black and brown people?
Those are Black people.
But you said it takes away the immigrants. So you're saying that immigrants,
because my tax dollars are going towards them.
So let me make sure I understand you. The immigrants that are in this country, you're saying that the immigrants here are taking housing opportunities away from Black and brown people.
Absolutely.
This country is made up of immigrants.
No.
All the
this
immigrants.
Country, no, we're all not.
My
family is indigenous.
With
we're
the
all
exception
not.
of
we're all.
Why the fuck do everybody feel like this country is made of immigrants, bro? Like it wasn't Black, like it wasn't no Black indigenous people here before they came, bro. Like, and I understand we got other people that immigrants that came, but bro, this country was literally before Christopher Columbus got his white ass over here. It was people already here. There's people here for thousands and thousands of years, bro. I don't know what books y'all are reading, but y'all are reading the wrong type of books.
Black Americans who were enslaved.
No, not just Black Americans, Indigenous Americans as well, because my grandmother is Indigenous. I am not an immigrant, and neither is my family. So again, they're not here. They're not from here. There's nothing wrong with immigrating here. But there are other people, including other Black people, including other Latino people that came here the right way, that paid all of this money. You get to jump the Rio Grande and think I'm supposed to have sympathy for you.
Let me ask you this, and then we can move on. Do you think white ethnic people in this country are immigrants and also usurping opportunities from Black and brown people?
Absolutely. So you have like the Ukrainians. I'm not for sending my money over there. And a lot of conservatives aren't.
Well, let's just think who's here in America. I mean, you have Polish, you have Germans, English, Irish. So there's so many other immigrants in this country that are white ethnic people that may usurp opportunities from Black and brown people. But it seems to be a focus
only if you're illegal.
It seems to be a focus on Black and brown people. Well, I think this may be the perfect opportunity if you are of a different shade immigrant to come to this country, because the focus is now on the fair-skinned, if you will, immigrants. It's on the brown-skinned immigrants.
Nope, that's just what your mainstream media shows you. So
I don't pay attention to mainstream media.
Okay, well, that's just what maybe liberal media, including the independent ones, like your Don Lemons and them. Yeah. So people like that, they only show that, but you have your Chinese immigrants, okay? Because you have the Chinese that come over here, and they have something called where they come and they have babies, right? And their babies get citizenship, and then they go back to China, right? They come and they do a lot of these legal houses, and they just found one in Nevada where they had a whole lab set up, and they came over doing the open borders. So it's just not brown people, right? It's Chinese, it's other Middle Eastern countries, but that's other white countries.
That may be plausible.
Everybody that is illegal, yeah, came through that southern border because it was wide open.
That may be plausible, but that's not what the Trump administration propagates. I'm just talking about what his
yes, he does.
The Trump administration.
They don't stress it. Donald Trump has said plenty of times, and again, I use the most notable ones for liberals, right? Which is the Ukrainians. He didn't want to send any of our money over there. And you know who wanted to? The liberals. And I know why, because you have people who benefit from that. People in the Democratic Party and some rhinos in the Republican Party that benefit from sending our money over there.
Fair enough. All right. What do you think most people feel about Black and brown conservatives? When people hear that you are a conservative or they hear that I'm a conservative, what do you think the misunderstanding is?
I think the misunderstanding is saying that you're trying to sell out to white supremacy.
Okay.
And I think that's an awful trope because white supremacy would be that this party owns me, that this party is entitled to my vote, because we should treat voting like we treat anything else. It's what have you done for me lately, okay? I'm not born in 1963, 64, 65, okay? So there have been plenty of things that have happened. Every time there is a, well, I vote Democrat because of the civil rights. Well, this is years later. What have you done? Absolutely nothing. And most of the policies that I can recall in, a span of which I would have been born in, you have policies that have hurt Black people. You have the crime bill. You have poor immigration. You have the housing crash. All of these things.
And she fine and beautiful. Damn.
That Democrat.
Smart. Smart and beautiful. I'm sorry, y'all.
High role in, if not implemented. So yes, when I look at that, I think the bad trope of saying, well, you just want to be a part of the white man. Well, which white man? Because both of the parties are controlled by the majority. So which white man is the best? Who's ISIS coder? That's what I get from it. And I think, honestly and truly, that
the lesser of two evils, which is why you should be independent.
Well, evil is an evil. So again, that's why I have no problem with calling out, rhino Republicans, because there are plenty of Republicans that I don't like. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, George Bush is number one. It used to be Dick Cheney, but I'm giving him grace because he's gone. Those are my highest two on my list, because those two impacted my generation, right? There are others, but again, just like with Democrats in the past, I look at what's in my generation, and I think the George Bush era was just a horrible era. Because it ushered in a lot of policies that took away a lot of freedoms, like the Patriot Act and other just ridiculous policies.
All right, so let's get into Anton Daniels. Here's my thinking. With your vast erudition or knowledge in politics, was that the connection or bond? Because as I understand, he's a conservative, and much of his rhetoric, if you will, is political.
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
That's fair.
That is fair. Was that the bond or the connection between you and Anton?
Absolutely. So I was a watcher of Anton's content way before, I actually knew Anton. So that is one of the bases of my connection with Anton, and also the financial conservatism too, because Anton knows a lot about financial decisions.
Okay, and how would you describe your political relationship with him?
Political relationship, what do you mean?
Yeah, so is it primarily the relationship or the friendship you have is primarily about politics?
Well, no, the relationship that we have now is primarily business.
Or prior to, when you say now, there's an emphasis that maybe it was different prior to.
No, the only prior to is before I knew him.
Okay.
So before I knew him, of course, I'm a consumer at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm, looking at Anton, like I said, from the conservative politics and the fiscally conservative shows he used to have.
Yeah. And what was it that caught your attention to stay connected to the work that he does?
Before I knew him?
Yep.
Oh,
you said you was a consumer of his work. Yeah.
It would be like the Millionaire Morning Show. That's actually what I did watch. I didn't know Anton's other shows until we started working together.
Sure.
But the Millionaire Morning Show, it has, like I said, it has different components of news, financial information, politics,
sure,
and a little bit of pop culture, which is my lane.
Yeah, and even with that being your lane, how did the lanes collide, if you will? Meaning that at some point, either you reach out, you email, you DM, you say, hey, this is great work you're doing. It's something that I'm interested in knowing more about. How was that establishment
So Anton reached out to me.
Sure.
And he asked.
Well, let me ask you this, just for clarity for the public. When you say he reached out to you, so if you're a consumer of his work, how does he know to reach out to you?
He doesn't know to reach out to me.
So how?
It just happens that, well, I watch a lot of people.
Sure.
Online, but it just happened that he emailed me. I have my email up on my Instagram. I have it up on my
Yeah, but that's what I'm
YouTube.
asking. How did he know? How did he establish connection with you to know to email you?
Well, from what he told me, somebody sent him my work. And so he wanted to work with me, so he emailed me.
Okay, so someone sent him your information, and then he decided to reach out to you.
Mm-hmm. Somebody sent him my content, and he decided to look me up. He got my email, sent me email.
And if you can be transparent, what did he say in the email, or what did he say that established your interest to move to the next step?
Well, when I got the email, I already knew who Anton Daniels was because I'm watching Anton Daniels.
Yeah.
So he asked if I would be interested in doing an interview. I said, sure.
Okay. And the interview does he normally invite guests to come on?
All the time.
Oh, he does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anton has like one-on-ones with pretty much anybody. If his audience finds somebody intriguing, which is how he found me in the first place, then he'll bring them on, or if he finds them intriguing. Yeah.
And then you establish this sort of cordial friendship, if you will. Mm-hmm. It's a friendship at that point because you weren't working.
No. So once I did after I did the interview did really, really well.
Okay.
Especially
and what was the interview about?
Everything. Anton asked me stuff from relationships, like my thoughts on relationships, because Anton does relationship panels and all of these things. So from relationships to politics to whatever he can come up with.
So it wasn't really a targeted subject, if you will.
Nope.
It was just, I want to have you on and I want to interview you about whatever comes to mind, or whatever he is interested in talking about.
Correct.
Some people would say that's a cake bake. Do you feel it was?
What's a cake bake?
A cake bake is when I have a sort of a hidden agenda, if you will, for reaching out to a specific person, sort of making you believe that it's one thing and it could be something else. I may have insidious characteristics. And then once I'm able to lure you in, if you will, I sort of cake bake that situation, meaning that now I have your attention and I have you a part of my space, if you will.
Well, I've never heard of that, but I mean,
that's why
there could be people that can, but I can tell you right now, Anton was always like straight on forward, professional. Like there was really
I'm not questioning his character.
I'm just saying like there's nothing really that would fit into what you were, what you're describing. Yeah.
So to you, based on my definition of cake bake, inviting you to come onto the show to have a conversation about no particular topic, or at least a topic that he would serve as a prowess, did not feel like a cake bake.
No, because, and let's be clear, especially in the independent podcasting space.
Sure.
Some podcasters are, particular, you and I would be amongst the top, because a lot of them don't really have an actual angle.
Yeah.
They get around, they talk, they do this, that, and the third. So it's not uncommon that somebody might say, "Oh, I like what you said there. Hey, you want to come on?" And it might not be anything in my field or lane, but that doesn't stop them from reaching out.
And where's the show taped?
So he tapes in Detroit.
So he's in Detroit. So you had to fly out to Detroit?
Correct.
Did he or the show pay for you to come out?
Correct.
And did they pay for your room and board as well?
Correct.
So you stayed in a hotel. Actually, let me pose that as a question. Did you stay in a hotel?
Correct.
You did stay in a hotel. And you stayed alone in a hotel?
Correct.
Okay, just because these are questions that have come in, so I just want to bring some clarity. At what point do you believe the public and other people started paying attention to your friendship?
I think probably When I started to actually be a regular.
Okay, so give us that timeline from when he flew you out, you participated as a guest, you're done with the show, you fly back home. At what point from that last time up until you became a regular were you in communication with him?
So,
like months?
So after I did the first interview,
Sure.
Probably maybe a couple of weeks after the interview aired and Anton could actually see how it was doing, I got a really good response from his audience. And so his audience decided, to people that don't know Anton, sure. Anton is a big advocate of what his viewers and his watchers think, his chat, all of that. He calls them his co-host. A chat is like Anton is a
advocate of, you were saying
of listening to what they like.
I see. Okay.
So if they like this or that, he will pay attention to it, okay. And he'll try to implement that in the show. So Anton watched how everybody pretty much loved the interview. They either like this part about it. Oh, I think we think she's smart. We like this. She's pretty. Blah blah blah. Whatever. And so
people actually said you were pretty because you are. Yeah. You're beautiful.
Thank
but
you.
But we used to work together, woman. Yes, so I know this stuff. But I just want to make sure that I'm really captivating the responses that the public wants. So people were saying, based on what he shared with you, that people said you were beautiful, you were smart.
Well, no, it's not based on what he was sharing with me. It's based on what's still on the page.
I see.
Yeah. So you can see that in the comment section. And of course, when it aired, you can see it in the chat.
Sure.
So you see all of these different things and you're like, okay, well, if this is something that people are interested in, then I should explore more on it.
Okay.
And so Anton decided that he was going to revamp one of his channels that he canceled, called Fight Club or something like that. And he decided to make it like a nightly talk show.
Okay.
And when I guess he went on one of his live streams and as the bag chasers, as they're called, what they thought, and a lot of them would bring Micca. And so
you were heavily requested, your appearance.
Yes, and you can, and I tell people this all the time, with Anton, 99% of the things that he does is on camera.
Yeah.
So you can go back and just look at the comments.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just curious, does he also recruit males?
Yes.
So right now the team is made up, if you will. So let me make sure I understand this. The show, are you hired by him currently on a show?
Well, it's called Room 9 now, but at the time it's called After Hours.
So it's called Room 9. It was called After Hours. And how many regular guests or co-hosts rather are on there?
I want to say 5 or 6 now. So when it started, it was just me and Quentin.
Okay.
A gentleman named Quentin.
Sure.
And then it grew.
Okay. And now it's made up of male-female ratio, which
correct.
Is, what's the male-female ratio?
So 1, 2, 3, so maybe 4 females, 3 males.
4 females, 3 males. Okay. Yeah. Are you a paid employee?
Correct. Well, I'm contracted.
Contracted.
Correct.
Yeah. And do you have to fly out every time?
No. Most of it is virtually. Only when we're actually like doing something, some like a bunch of content where we have to go there.
Yeah. What sealed the deal for you in working with Anton, or at least felt comfortable to say, I want to stay on as a contractor and I really like what he has? What sealed that deal? So you become a guest and then you go back home and then you decided to accept the offer, if you will. But what sealed it for you?
What sealed it is I had already started in my podcasting process, and while I was there, I just in that small day and a half window, I got to see Anton's work ethic.
Sure.
And I got to see what goes on behind the scenes in podcasting and what actually, how I can actually get to these numbers and, just things that a lot of people charge for.
Yep.
A lot of people sometimes, especially in Black and brown communities, don't want to tell, like it's some type of secret,
Yep.
or somebody's gonna steal their job.
Yep.
And so I was able, to benefit from being able to see this firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something. And he was very open about showing me this or that and the third, because it wasn't a sense of, oh, this is a threat if I tell you this, or you're going to tell other people and I'm not going to be able to make money.
Sure. So right now, your role as a co-host is virtual.
Correct.
How often do you fly, or what would be the need to fly to Detroit?
Only if we're doing other content. So like we did content one time for, a couple times, but in the beginning, the first time was for my channel.
Sure.
So I needed to do a one-on-one interview. So I got to do that plus our after hours.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Does Anton have you on an NDA? I've read that somewhere. A non-disclosure agreement for people who don't know.
Yeah, they always said it because some people pay attention to.
But does he have you on one?
No, I'm not on NDA.
So you're not on NDA?
No, I'm not on NDA. But he does give out NDAs to a lot of people. If not
staff, you mean staff?
Anybody that he works with. So they don't have to be staff if he just maybe interviewed you or whatever.
But were you ever on an NDA?
No.
So what's the exception? Why are you an exception?
I don't think I'm an exception because I don't ask, who's on an NDA. So I don't know.
But you know that other people are.
But I have seen him, put people on NDA. But as far as staff go, I don't ask. It's almost like at your job, you don't go, well, what's your salary?
Oh no, they do.
Depending on where you're not supposed to.
They wouldn't ask me.
With HR, you're not supposed to.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I've never inquired to the other hosts if they have it or not, because I really don't care.
Now, are you paid per episode?
No, I'm paid per month.
Per month?
Yeah, like YouTube.
Wow. How much does he pay you?
It depends.
The range.
It depends because we bring in a lot of super chats, which is extra money that the audience gives.
And that's the way he makes the money for the show?
No.
Okay.
YouTube has AdSense and he has sponsorships, things like that. So all of that is factored in, plus anything that the audience gives as well.
Sure. So how much does he pay you? We were just talking about that range. Unless you want to specifically say how much. I'm not going to give a specific
because that's
the NDA characteristic.
No, that's my.
Or you want to protect him?
That's my business. That's my business mind sense, because there are other people on that show. I do not know how much.
So then let's give a range, because a range doesn't pinpoint the range.
That's why I said I can do the range.
Yeah, sure.
You asked me to pinpoint.
Sure. What's the range?
So I can do a range of anywhere between 2 to maybe 35.
To what? I don't know. You said $2, $200.
To 35.
2,000
to 35.
To 3,500 a month.
Correct.
Okay, for your role.
I'm only on that show. So there are some people that are on 5 days a week. There are some people that are on 1 day a week. And for me, I'm only on Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay. So Thursdays and Fridays, you make a good amount of money just for Thursdays and Fridays?
Correct.
Yeah.
Damn. For 8 episodes a month?
Let's get to the meat and potatoes of what's been out there. Mm-hmm. So I understand that Anton is married. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're married? Correct. Have you met Anton's wife?
Yes.
How would you describe her?
She's when I say probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, that lady is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And has Anton met your husband?
In person, absolutely not.
He has not met him
No.
in person. Has he
No.
met him over the phone or in DM? What other form of introduction when you say not in person?
Because a lot of people assume that, when you have to see people, it has to be in person, or that if you don't meet them in person, then it's something or whatever. So
No, so I'm saying, what's the form of communication?
I mean,
that he met your husband?
they don't have a form of communication where they talk back and forth.
Yeah. So, but you said he did not meet your husband in person.
No.
Is that to imply that he met him virtually?
No.
So he's never met your husband?
No.
And why is that?
No, but
She fine, but she lying. Her ass lying like a motherfucker, bro. See, this go back to my last episode. Can we trust black women? Damn.
Particular reason.
Sure.
Just I've never had to actually do anything where my husband was there, and so if he's there, like if my like when we work together, is here, so my husband's come here. But if
when we first met,
we were person as well.
Your husband came.
Yeah, but we were here. We were here in the DC area. Yes, my husband came.
Yes.
So again, if he was here, then yes. But most of my business dealings, and if not all, I usually have a manager or somebody else deal with that. So that's the reason why it's not a thing. But I talked to my husband about it.
How long have you and Anton been business partners or friends?
We're business partners, and
to provide language that's inaccurate.
That's why I changed it.
Yeah.
We're business partners, absolutely.
You're not friends.
No.
Okay.
Friends would imply that we hang outside of business.
Not necessarily. Well, yes,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah, like
outside of business.
Yeah,
correct.
like not. We were, me and you were shooting here, and then we just get something to eat afterwards, but we are doing business.
Yes.
I'm saying, hey, are you up? Are you available today? Or you want to go out to the blah blah blah?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Do you believe it was important at some point for you to introduce your husband to Anton?
Yeah. Because
I'm sure his wife thought it was important to meet you.
So I can't speak on what his wife thought.
Correct.
But the one time that I would have is when we had an event here, but he had to work. So, I mean.
But have you made it a concerted effort to make it happen? We do what we want to do, when we want to do it, for whom we want to do it for. And if something is really important to you and your family, either on your end as a wife, you absolutely make a concerted effort for this man. Or
go ahead.
Or Anton, as a man, says, I want to meet your husband just because you're married, and I don't want any messaging or anything else to be misconstrued by him or the public. So it's fair that I introduce myself. Has that conversation happened?
No, that conversation has not happened. And I understand what you're saying. My thing, again, my business dealings is normally with me, my manager, things like that. But it's not without my husband knowing. So everything that I do, every place that I go, everything that I'm going to be doing, my husband knows. And I have to actually talk about it with him, tell him what I'm doing, things like that.
How did you reassure your husband this was strictly business? Like, if my wife is flying to another state, at some point I'm going, or I need to meet this person in person. And it doesn't matter to me if he's single or married. It doesn't matter to me if he feels that he wants to meet me. I want my wife to be very committed and loyal to the idea of her business engagements I should be comfortable with as a husband. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Sure.
But my thing is, I think a lot of people sometimes misconstrue is this. you guys separate for some reason, independent from like big conglomerates, right? So if there's a person that has a business,
Sure.
it automatically changes from if Disney calls, right? That I have done as far as movie sets and other things that my husband has not gone to.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody would bat an eye if I'm talking to the director or if I'm going to meet, for a shoot for this or that. Your spouse is not always coming. And so I think the notion that just because is this person, and I understand that people have their own thoughts and perceptions of people, but I think a lot of the times when it comes down to people who are in independent media, they think it's more of a personal level, and still it's business.
Yeah. But I think what people may feel befuddled or confused by is at some point you put the business aside when rumors are brewing, when images are plastered all over social media.
Now you're talking about a year.
Okay, so has there ever been a concern from your husband about your business relationship with Anton?
My business relationship, absolutely not. Because one, he can watch it. Like he can literally sit there and watch it. And then two, if he has a concern or anything he wants to know, I just tell him.
Has he ever been incredulous? Skeptical?
What?
Yeah, has
with
he
what,
been
though?
with your
But these questions is hilarious as fuck.
flying out there, or depending on how long you stay, or just the mere fact that I never even met this person? Has he just had that sort of incredulity, if you will, about not meeting your male business partner?
So I think he would like to be, more involved with coming out there. But again, and you know what my husband does for a living.
Sure.
So it's not feasible.
No, it's feasible, because here's how I see it. If Anton has to get on an airplane and come and meet your husband out of respectability, then that's what a man does.
If that
so
was
it's feasible.
I was talking about feasible for if anytime I have to get up and go do something. And it's not just with
I know
Anton.
that, because your husband hasn't always been on the show when we were doing something, so I get that.
Correct. And
Yep.
so that's what I mean by it's not always feasible. But if it was to that point where he wanted to have, Anton do something, or if it was, well, I want to go,
Sure.
that would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it's never I don't, how should I say it? I don't give I need to hide this, or I just really feel that because this is independent, that we are not looking at it as business, because
what is independent?
Because this is so this is your business here.
Sure.
I can talk to you directly instead of having to talk to 1,001 people
Yes.
to get to you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
With that, it's still a business,
Yep.
but I can talk directly to you. So I can talk directly to Anton. So being that I can talk directly to Anton, I think people get a sense of that, well, because you can do that, then now it's something more happening if you go meet with this person.
Yeah.
Versus looking at it still the same. Yeah, this is not a big corporation, but this is still business, and this is still a person that is going to be employing me, contracting me, whatever. That still has to happen. If I was flying to Disney has to pay for my room and board.
Yeah.
Disney has to do this, that, and the third. And so again, I think because it's a singular person that is easy accessible per se.
That's right. Yep.
Now it's a different notion. Well, this must be for this, instead of looking at it as business.
So let's call a thing, if you will. And I want to really drive it home. Has Anton ever flirted with you?
Flirted with me as a sense of what?
No,
Naturally,
no.
just naturally, like we're sitting here, or because I'm gonna explain.
Well, I don't want to
mean.
get into wordsmithing.
No, there's no wordsmithing.
Okay.
The reason why I'm asking.
Because then I want to talk about some pictures too.
No, yeah,
Okay.
I got you. But the reason why I'm asking is because there's two different things, right? So Anton does things for content, and then there's things that Anton would do if we're just sitting here.
Okay.
So if you're saying personally, if me and Anton was just sitting here, no. Now, if you're talking about for content, when we're doing the virtual rooms and things for the show, Anton has said multiple things. So that's why I asked, which one are you talking about?
So let me hear a few of the multiple things that he said that was a flirt.
What people would consider if he's, saying.
Not people, what you considered as a flirt.
I would say probably if he's like, oh, Micca, you're so sweet, or you're so cute, right? But
y'all think Micca lying? She fine. She might be smart, but something giving me like this spirit that she lying about something, bro. Like, and then she let her husband know. See, this is why I don't want to get married, bro, because shit like this have a nigga up in goddamn jail, some goddamn doing 25 to life.
Problem that I have with it is because I know he's doing it for content, right? And he's not actually talking to me. However, I will say what I probably should have paid more attention to is the fact that people take content as real life instead of just content, right? Because I come from a world where I know entertainment is entertainment, and people say this and that, with reality shows, all of that is just for entertainment, and the cameras cut off and they don't really hate each other, they talk to each other.
But has he said those things to you privately?
No, and that's why I asked you.
It's all been on the show?
Yes, that's why I asked you the difference, and that's why I wanted to make that distinction, because if I just said, he said this word, you would probably think it's just because we're sitting here. That's why I said no. He has done it for content while we're all, and mind you, he says it to not just me, other women on the panel.
And how did you feel when a married man said that to a married woman?
Again, at first, because you don't understand,
who doesn't understand?
Meaning, well, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
So again, being on YouTube, when you don't understand certain bounds of YouTube panels and things like that, people on panels say all types of egregious stuff or whatever to get reactions from the crowd, right? And so you might personally take stuff a certain way when they were just doing it as a reaction to get people in the crowd.
And so how did you feel?
I didn't feel a certain way. I didn't say anything because I was a little off-putted. But once I understood what he was trying to do, I'm like, okay, well, you can't say this and that and the third. It's okay if you're like, okay, I have beautiful women on my panel. That is fine, right? Because people can acknowledge that people look nice and things like that. But it's when it becomes personalized that it looks funny to the audience.
How does his wife feel? Has his wife, Rita, ever expressed to you her disdain, or have you heard her discuss something with him about her disapproval of saying that to you on a show? Even because
Go ahead.
Well, let me just say this just before you answer. I think there's a line you draw in the sand when I say something because it's content. So I'm producing content here, I'm doing a show, and if I say to you, knowing your husband, wow, you look so beautiful and you're so gorgeous, boy, I wish we could probably just go for a nice drink. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, but he's never said that to me.
Yeah,
So
but,
that's
but
totally different.
he may not have used my words. I'm just saying.
No, he's never done that. Period. Like, oh, well, let's go for it.
But he's called you beautiful.
Yes.
And gorgeous.
Yes.
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 On the show.
Yes.
And to you, that's not a problem. Because it's happened more than once.
Correct.
And I'm not trying to make it a problem.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Let me answer your question. So yes, he said beautiful, gorgeous, whatever. But there's not like, well, I want to take you to the whatever, or let's do this and this and that. And it's just.
Well, he's taking you somewhere. Let's look at this picture. You guys were at a game when you said he wanted to take me somewhere. Now I'll be.
Damn! If that was my wife, oh my motherfucking God, dog. See, this is why I don't like watching shit like this. This is why I can't get married. And this is where we go back to trusting black women, y'all. This that bullshit. And I'm just speaking on black women because that's all I'm talking about right now. I don't date outside my race.
Be honest, when I saw this picture, I was flabbergasted.
Why?
Because
wait.
Sure.
So go back to what you were saying, because you can't intertwine the two. So you were asking,
sure,
was he expounding on
flirt,
on the certain type of things that he says? And we were talking about him saying it's beautiful, whatever, but not expounding in that way.
Yes.
Now, what is your question that you're asking now?
Because I think I asked him, was it disrespectful? Did you feel that it was disrespectful? And I think you answered it by saying no, because you realize that it's content and people do these shows and they say things. And you also clarified it by saying outside of the show, that has never happened. Would that be correct, what I heard?
Right, but you use the hook at the end to say, well, he's taking you somewhere.
Well, I think you said something, and we can probably roll it back in post-production. You said something about when we go places or he takes me somewhere. And that's what made me say.
So what I said was he's not adding on to the beautiful or gorgeous, saying, dang, you're so gorgeous that I want to take you to the whatever so we can do this.
And I thought we clarified that, because I said those are my words. That's what I said. And you did say he doesn't say that.
No.
Right. And I didn't want to put words in his mouth, but I wanted to be clear. So let's go to the picture.
Okay.
Tell us about this. How did this happen?
So this was the day that we did the interview. So the show did an interview, or just you and him? This was my interview day.
The first day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So this is my interview day, because you can go and you can see the outfits, the same outfit, same everything. Now, what he is doing here is he had already a business meeting set up there. So there is...
That's what he told you, correct?
That's what happened.
No, I'm not saying that. That's what he told you, as if that was a cake bake. He told you he had a business meeting and you were invited.
No.
Okay.
So again, back there, probably like on the first level there is a area where if you have, your high roller seats and things like that, you, I don't know what they call it there in Detroit, but here in DC, they call it maybe the Ultra Club and things like that, where all the people that have club seats, things like that. Yeah. You have, of course, conference rooms, other things up there. And back there is where he had his meetings. He met a couple of high profile people. They were talking about sponsorships. They were talking about interviews, a whole lot of stuff.
No, I still don't think you answered the question. What I'm trying to
get at. You asked what was I doing there?
How did, because I said he had a business meeting and invited you, and you said no. So you didn't fall out the sky. They didn't open up the dome and you came down on a harness into the meeting. So what I'm saying is
hold on, ask your actual question.
So this is what I'm saying. The interview is over. The one-on-one interview is over, correct?
Correct.
What does the conversation sound like to invite you to come here?
Okay.
Because I said you were invited and you said no.
Okay. So no, that's not what I said. But
we're going to play it back.
Nevertheless, so again, he had business meetings there, and he said, well, I got a couple meetings at the game, and these people I think will be good for you to meet. I said, sure.
And you were the only one from the team that went, or were there other people? I know you were the only interview.
I wasn't at a team then.
No, I'm saying the interview was his staff, his production. Like you have camera people, producers, etc. So the production is over. Did he not only apprise you that he was going and invited you, were there other production people?
Well,
because we all have gone out together after production.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, again, you have production people and everything, all that other good stuff. Anton does everything himself.
Yes.
And I do mean all of it. Unless sometimes, like if he has something else going on, there may be another person there because they maybe have to help him with something else. But if it's only like one thing that he's doing outside of his own videos,
sure,
it's only him.
So his wife wasn't there?
At this one, no.
Right. So you flew out for an interview. Mm-hmm. You went to his studio or place of production. Mm-hmm. Y'all did an interview, and it's just you guys. Correct.
So I flew to Detroit. Got to the hotel. Okay. Got to the studio.
He booked a hotel for you. The location.
Correct.
Okay.
Got to the studio. His wife came past the studio. That's when I first met her.
Sure.
But she did not stay.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to be too investigatory, but it gives foundation. Mm-hmm. How far is the hotel from the studio and from his home, if you knew that?
I've never been to his home. So
well, you don't have to go to a person's home.
You said from his home, so yeah. I don't know.
You don't know that. Okay, fair enough. From the studio. Give or take. 5.
I say maybe 10 or 15.
Okay, 10 or 15. So then he says...
It's all downtown.
It's all downtown. So he says, hey, I got this business meeting. I'm going to this game. Would you like to go with me? Mm-hmm. And obviously you said yes, because you weren't forced into going.
Not I got this game. I got this meeting.
I had this meeting. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I'm looking at this picture, are you all on the floor at a basketball game?
Correct, that's the floor.
Okay, at a basketball game.
Correct.
So you went to a basketball game. Did you watch the game?
No, this picture right here, we probably sat on this court, maybe 10 minutes.
Oh,
we
I see.
In the back.
So a meeting, and then y'all just went on the floor to take a picture?
No, we just went on the floor, and we sat there maybe 10 minutes, and then they had their,
sat there 10 minutes to watch a game for 10 minutes?
He wanted to.
If this was my wife, I'd be like, bitch, who are you trying to play with? That don't even make no damn sense. You went to go sit on the floor for 10 minutes? Them floor tickets ain't fucking cheap.
See a little bit of the game. Sat there maybe about 10 minutes. The quarter ended, went right back to the back.
Okay, and was his wife invited with you guys to the business meeting?
I don't know if she was invited or not.
Was she there?
If she was there, no.
She was not there.
Mm-mm.
Okay, in that moment, did you feel awkward?
No, because I was there for a meeting. So,
but you had nothing to do with the meeting, right?
Let me finish.
Sure.
I was there for a meeting, right? So he's already having his business dealings, whatever he's going to do. You're in business. You're in this crowd.
Sure.
You absolutely understand that there are networking opportunities. If I know so-and-so and I bring you with me and so-and-so sees you,
correct.
Oh, you can make networking opportunities. And you also know that it does not happen in a vacuum. It does not happen in offices.
Correct.
It does not happen. You can be at the golfing. You can be at the NBA games, correct. All types of things. So again, kind of like, just like the thing we were talking about with it just being the fact that it's just that person that is the business entity. I also think that when people don't know business or people have never experienced what it's like to network, especially with people that are upper echelon, they don't understand that these things don't happen in just offices. These things don't happen in a particular place. So there are a lot of high rollers and business people. Like there were people there that were part of the NBA.
Sure.
The guy that owns the actual arena.
Yeah. Yeah.
All there.
Yeah.
All the mayor, like all there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, the former mayor.
The former mayor. Yeah.
Mhm.
But here's the difference, and you know this because we work together.
Mhm.
I go back to how critical it is for the male that you're working with, particularly when it's sort of independent and we are being seen and these sort of pictures come about. It's important to meet and know your husband. And I'm not saying he isn't a man of character because I don't know Anton. And I'm not here to vilify him. I'm just going based off how things look and what the concerns have been in the public.
I can understand, but that's why I don't mind. That's why I don't mind talking about it, because there's nothing nefarious that I ever had going on. And again, I never do anything unless my husband knows.
So your husband knew that you were going to this business meeting.
My husband knew that I was where I was.
No, that's not. Let's be very clear with language. So I want to be clear with my question.
Okay.
Did your husband know that after the show, the interview was over, you were going to a basketball, not a basketball, you were going to a meeting at an arena where a basketball game was?
I don't remember if I told him before or after, but I did tell my husband. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you told, but
of course.
When you say you don't remember
meaning
before
like,
or after,
meaning like
is it fair to say you told him after?
No, it's not fair.
Because how do you not remember that?
Because I don't remember everything about it that day.
No, but you're a married woman who goes, and I want to be fair to you, but I want us
because to me, everything that I'm doing is business. So again,
but a married woman doesn't forget if she told her husband she went somewhere before or after.
No, you're trying to pinpoint a time frame, and I'm telling you, I don't remember my time frame.
Not a time frame.
I tell my husband everything. So yes, I did, and I posted this. This is my picture.
Yes.
So again, if I was trying to hide it, if I didn't want my husband to know it, I would have never posted.
So you think posted it makes you innocuous?
No, I'm telling you that I don't hide anything. I have nothing to hide. And so if I wanted to hide something from my spouse, I would have never.
Let's look at the next picture. I thought the next picture was really, really interesting. And in this next picture.
But wait, why are you leaving that one? Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving that one?
What? Is there more you want to expand?
No, but isn't it want to expand?
Go to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like you gave clarity. What I heard you say was it wasn't a basketball game I was invited to. Correct. I was invited to a business meeting.
Correct.
I heard you say I went for an interview, and after the interview, I was asked and I accepted the offer.
Okay.
I heard you say that I apprised my husband, or you told your husband, this is where you were going. You couldn't remember if it was before or after, but either way, your husband knew. And the final thing you said was you posted the picture.
Correct.
I have nothing further. Is that fair? Next picture. I was flabbergasted by this picture.
Okay, tell me why.
Because there's no way my wife would be physically touching, leaning on a married man, leaning on a single man, leaning on another man in a way that suggests I'm feeling you, I like you. This is really some sort of.
Why do you think that says I'm feeling you?
Even if it doesn't say I'm feeling you, I don't want my wife.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think that suggests that I'm feeling you? Because
okay, let's
hold on. The reason why I'm asking you.
Okay.
The reason why I'm asking you is I have tons of pictures of our former co-host.
Yep.
With the same lean, everything.
But here's the difference.
Hold on.
Yes.
And that person is also a male. All right. And we have a working relationship, and it's the same exact type of picture.
But here's the disrespect. Here's the disrespect. This is a married man that you are physically leaning into.
I'm not leaning into.
That to me,
I'm not leaning into.
to me, let me, and
There's space there.
here's my perspective of it. There's a gap between it, but I'm looking at how you have a smile on your face. This is just my perspective. Your eyes look seductive, just my perspective. And your arm is relaxed on his upper shoulder.
Correct.
And I would never imagine a married woman leaning on a business male partner that way. That to me is inappropriate. That's if you were my wife, I would have a serious problem. My problem would be so serious, you would have to probably extinguish your contract with him. Just because, and I will also feel a little uncomfortable that this gentleman obviously did not either push you away or suggest that we shouldn't take this type of picture. I've never met your husband. I fly you out here once or twice. This is this may not be the first time. So which point was this? Not that it matters if it was the third time, the fourth time.
This is the second time.
Oh, goodness. The second time?
This is the second time. Not the second time I'm dealing with Anton.
Okay, so what's and it doesn't matter to me, but what's that gap between the first time you're there, he takes you to a business meeting at a basketball game, and you guys are sitting on the floor like you are
that we're working together? And it's not like that.
Well, that's not working together.
No, go back to what you just said.
Is that working together?
No, go back to what you just said.
Which part?
It's not that, no, you said a couple.
Well, pick one.
No, you said sitting on the floor like you are a couple.
Yeah, listen, I'm not.
But you're interjecting your own thoughts, especially.
I'm giving you my perspective.
But your perspective is after I told you. So to put something else there.
Okay, I see. That's fair. Okay, so but I think that's a fair point. I don't want to spin it. What I want to say is messaging, imagery is critical because imagery is messaging.
Correct.
And a lot of times on the Jumbotron at a game, we often see couples, whether you're high on the floor. A lot of times when people are on the floor, you see.
Do you sit at the game?
Do I sit at the game?
Correct.
Yes.
Do you sit at the game on the floor?
I have.
No. Do you all the time?
No.
Okay. All right. So who have you met at these games on the floor?
This is my show, not yours. I'm not answering the question.
Oh, okay. And the reason
if I come on your show, then we can get into that.
However, the reason I asked you is to give perspective, right?
Yes.
Because what I found, because I'm usually in the skybox.
Yes.
When I'm here in DC, I'm in my box. I don't like to be down on the floor. That's not my thing.
Sure.
On the floor, there are family members there. They are some of those people. A lot of them are like business seats.
Yep.
So anybody from these law firms, offices, are down there on the floor.
Yep.
That I've never known who sits down on the floor because I don't care and I don't sit there, right? But by being there, I found out who was actually down there, family members, business partners, all of that. That's what I met.
Listen,
hold on.
Yes.
So again, I'm not disputing your perspective as far as people that don't know.
Yeah.
Right? That's fair. But when you are in that world and you are in the know and you know more than just I would say the popular culture of who might sit down there, right? Because you might see your favorite rapper, things like that. But all those people that are sitting beside the rapper, you absolutely don't know why they're there.
But two married people shouldn't be sitting together without their spouses.
No. Now, see, and here we are again with you going back to something that's not, because you are essentially saying that I cannot do any business dealings with somebody that is in business because that person is married.
No, what I'm saying is somebody who's never met your husband.
Because if I go out with you or anybody
and
else,
I met your husband.
Okay, but
The former host has met your husband.
We've already talked about that.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, you're saying, because you don't know when you're looking at that picture. You don't know if you met him or not.
I know he hasn't met your husband. When I looked at that picture, and maybe because I have inside knowledge.
Yeah, that's why. So my point is, you don't know.
But I don't have to know to know that that's inappropriate. Let me say this, and maybe you just don't see it. You can't see how this could be construed.
That's not what I said. We just talked.
Okay, so do you see this as being inappropriate?
We just talked about what it can look like imagery-wise.
So let me ask you, forget the imagery. Is this inappropriate to you?
From my perspective, it wasn't, because that's not what I was doing. But I told you, I can understand why people might have thought that, but I literally did not have anything going on or anything, like there's nothing inappropriate going on. So me just leaning didn't seem like an issue to me.
Okay, so here's some hard questions I really, really need to ask you. First one is, it may not be as hard, but here it is. Are you going to continue working with Anton?
Well, I do not. Well, I have not been on after hours since the whole incident happened.
That's not answering my question.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
So I haven't been on after hours since the incident happened. And I felt that, there were a lot of things that I did not like about everything that went on. So with that, I decided to pull away from the show. So no, I am not.
Is that a permanent termination?
I am not.
Permanent termination?
Yes. I was only doing one show.
Okay, so you're no longer a part of it. Here's another very challenging question, but I have to ask you. I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex?
No. Hold on. No.
Okay. Any sexual relations?
No. It's always been strictly professional. And
you could be professionally sexual.
Oh, I would know.
Well, that's
so again, it's always been strictly professional. Strictly professional. Like I said, Anton has a persona online.
Okay.
I get his persona online, but personally, Anton hasn't done that to me.
Okay. What happened between him and Corey Holcomb? Because the 5150 show, from what we all saw, you were there with Anton, correct? We didn't see you, but clearly Corey said your name. And I even saw a video that he said Micca can come and do the show. She could come here. I would love for her to come. What happened that was not visible to the public that you can share? Like, we saw a lot, but was there anything behind the scenes? Were the guys agitated initially? I remember, I think I saw something where you said that it was actually on your own show. You said, hey, Corey shook my hand. I met him and he knew I was there. What happened?
Okay, so we got to the studio and
let's back up a little.
Okay.
Again, here's another invitation, correct? It's another invitation from Anton, an invitation.
No. Well, no.
Corey, did Corey invite you?
No. So this is how this rolled out.
Sure.
So Anton decided to put together a podcast tour that he was going to do, and that he's still on, actually, that he was going to go to different locations. Cool. I am the only person on Anton's program that is an actual content creator, not a panelist, not a guest. I'm an actual content creator. So,
why are you the only one?
Because I'm the only one that wants to do content outside of Anton.
Are you the only beautiful one on his team?
That's subjective. But there's other pretty women there. But whatever you think, that's what you think. But there's other women.
Do you think you look better than his wife?
No, I'm not going to answer that question because that's just
No,
ridiculous.
I mean, again, these are things that were sent to me. People
No,
have said, "Can you please ask her how she feels?"
Why would I answer that? Why would I subject another woman to answering something that is absolutely insane?
But fair enough. Go ahead.
And it's disrespectful.
And that picture was disrespectful.
But she was there.
She was there at the second one?
Yes.
That second picture?
Yes.
Did she take the picture of you leaning on her husband?
I sent you the video. Why play that?
I'll show that video when she was sitting on his lap.
And what were we doing in the video?
I think I saw you in the back and maybe y'all were doing a show or something.
Yeah, we were doing the after hour show.
And he told his wife to come on over and sit down. But
now,
I think you're using that isolated.
No, that's not isolated. That was the entire day. So
no, I mean isolated your history with him.
No.
Okay.
That the only one that she has that she wasn't at was the first one at the game. Outside of that, Rita is there. Now I'm not in charge of her schedule. I don't know
that's even scarier.
She's there most of the time, which is
I just think it's scarier if a wife,
of the
but
time.
I don't know her. I haven't spoken with her.
She does a lot of the business dealing. She does the emails. She does the scheduling because she actually scheduled my flight.
Sure.
She does those. So Anton is not the person that actually does it. He has an assistant, but a lot of the times his wife does it.
Yeah. And you do have husband-wife business partners. Yeah.
Tons of them.
Yeah. And sometimes those individuals, wife or husband, can be accepting of different arrangements.
Okay, but what does that have to do with me? My arrangement is business and personal.
Right, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, that arrangement, yeah.
So, no, it's not an arrangement. It's an actual business.
No, it's an arrangement
words
by
matter.
A contract.
Words matter.
Yeah.
And the
I'm very fastidious when it comes to words.
Yeah, I know. And you're also a fast talker. So I pick up on it.
I'm not that fast.
You fast, but I listen.
Sure.
However, no, she does a lot of the bookings, so she knows who's coming in and out and things like that. But like I said, that last one that we were just talking about, she was there the entire time. That's why in the video I sent you, she just came on in. She had been sitting there the entire day.
Okay, going back to Corey. So you were there, you arrived, and the show starts.
No.
Well, let's skip past everything else and just get to the crux of it.
Okay.
What do you think really set off either Corey or Anton?
At what part?
At any part. You were there, so you may have witnessed or have seen characteristics that could have been combustible and sort of inflamed them.
I think both of them set each other off because you have two men that are good at what they do, two men that are trying to get their point of view across as what is the best view.
Sure.
And they don't not only not agree on political things. They don't agree on certain values.
But what's the issue? Because it seems like Corey doesn't like that Anton allegedly espouses white America's thinking, or he minimizes Black people, or his role as a conservative prowess, if you will, seems to demean and diminish the light of Black Americans. And Corey is perturbed and turned off by that. And Corey, therefore, or maybe Anton Corey says something about sucking, male parts or something. And I think what actually happened? I can't remember who said what.
So
I think Corey said kissing white people's
behind. Yeah. And then Anton said, well, you sucked Black people.
Yes.
And he just didn't like the sucking comment.
Yeah. Now I was disturbed that honestly Corey was that upset. I mean, I get the respectability component.
I thought it was just a bat because you just said, I kiss somebody's butt, so I'm just up in this one. Well, you do this to Black people, and a lot of people, use that.
Yeah, but in the urban Black community, you can't say to another man, suck something, but I also think Anton had a right to say what he said about you can't tell me that I'm kissing somebody's behind.
Correct. And you can't tell somebody how they feel about the disrespectful comment.
That's correct.
Some people may not feel that, oh, well, saying you kiss white men, but if you feel the way Corey feels, then maybe you don't, because you think it's appropriate.
I think Anton handled that so respectfully.
I thought the exchange, was warranted how both of them went, but I didn't think it needed to be elevated to where.
And I say respectfully in the sense that Anton didn't allow it to get physical, because I thought Corey was about to dog him. When if Anton had said one more time what Corey told him not to say, for some reason I thought, wow, he may punch him. But then I was disappointed to see two black men.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
I didn't like it. One, because there were myself and Darlene and other females in the studio.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. Especially with men, I think you should be able to handle things cordially.
Why did Corey call you a bitch?
I don't know why he called me one, honestly.
Yeah. Are you going on the show? Will you go?
Am I going on his show? No, not to my knowledge.
But I think publicly he said Micca could come. If Corey invited you to 50-51, will you show up?
Probably not. And the reason why I say that is, the same way, I can accept an apology. I can accept somebody saying a wrongdoing. I accept people make mistakes, and I'm not putting that above anything. But I understand what that show is now, and so I don't think I fit the audience too much, and I don't think I would provide any value.
What is it that you want people to walk away with today? What truth do you want people to walk away with? And what more do you want to say about all of what we discussed today? Anton, Corey, your business relationship, your husband. We've touched on so many categories. So let's start with the first one. What truth do you want people to walk away with?
Not what truth. There's only the truth.
Sure.
The truth really honestly is that there are lessons. There are... Oh,
this is good. I love lessons. What's the lesson that you extracted from this experience? Because your life was speaking to you. Do you understand that?
I learned a valuable lesson. Outside of your wordsmithing, outside of your wordsmithing, I do think it is important for your spouse to meet everybody. Right?
Thank God we made progress.
Oh no! I wasn't ever, not agreeing with you.
Sure.
I just still wanted you to understand that there wasn't anything nefarious there.
Yeah. On whose part?
On
yours, because you can't speak for anyone else.
Correct.
Yes.
But so I didn't want that to be misconstrued in what you were asking.
Sure.
But I do think it's important because, if and not that he would even be online talk, because he's not going to do that.
Sure.
But just to be able to have that sense of, if something like this happens, you understand, other people can have an understanding that, that person definitely knows what's going on, even though he does. Absolutely. I've told him this, that, and third goes on. This is what we're doing. This is the paperwork with this, blah, 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 whatever. But when you have somebody, like you or others that are asking questions, I don't have to try to defend something that isn't happening, that absolutely isn't happening. And so I think the best way to put it is not having to make something a thing when it's not a thing. And not having to have things appear a way. Because I can tell you in each one of those pictures, that's literally just chilling
And
the entire time.
And most importantly, if I can impose, most importantly, making your family a priority, making your husband
my family is definitely a priority.
Well, again, we're talking about imagery. The public doesn't know behind the scenes. You're a public figure. You do a show, I do a show, you put things out there, and you have to be responsible for the images that you put out, but also the images that you are participating in, and be a very conscious, clear, and very divine woman who walks with the knowledge of knowing that any man that you deal with as a married woman should meet your husband if it's a contractual ongoing relationship. It doesn't mean that some new guy starts working at the job, your husband needs to know. No, but if you're doing business and if this person you're opening your life up to, you're flying somewhere, God forbid you could have flown somewhere and that would have been your last flight.
Well, I mean, that can happen regardless whether my husband meets somebody or not.
Yeah, but it's critical to have your husband an integral part of your decisions when you're out here making them.
And he's still, and my husband's very much a part of my decisions because again, I don't move, and that's I have to explain to my husband where I'm going. I don't get to just get up and go. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so that's always there. But what I'm talking about, one, the public wouldn't even know whether I did or didn't. Yeah. So me giving you this interview and telling you that it's something that the public would never even know. Yeah.
But let's remove the public thinking for a second and just perhaps think about maybe how your husband felt. I can't.
I'm not going to speculate how.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think all the images plastered all over social media, he felt good?
I'm not going to do that either.
You're not going to do what?
I'm not going to say what my husband felt like. My husband.
Did you and your husband have a conversation?
Figure, so I'm not going to.
Right. I'm right, but I'm just saying, did you and your husband have a conversation about what he was exposed to? He sees images on social media.
Oh, you mean, okay, so are you talking about this incident?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now go ahead and ask your question.
So what I'm saying is, when your husband sees images, what I'm saying is, it's not important what the public sees or thinks, but it's perhaps what your husband and your family feel when they open up YouTube.
So those pictures have been sitting there for a year.
Well, not just those pictures. I'm just saying the most recent thing when you went with Anton to Corey's show, and things was just, there was a recent conversation about you being the side chick.
So that's what you're talking about. Yeah. The images are not.
But those images corroborated. But those images corroborated a narrative that people wanted to put out there.
That they
had something to use.
Well, they have. You can. Let me phrase it this way. You can use whatever you want to create a narrative. But again, those images have been on my Instagram for over a year.
And that's a beef I had with you. Why is this man on your Instagram and not your husband?
So I don't want to put that in.
Okay. But do you understand?
Because then that pulled me to pulling his mindset in. And he's not sitting here talking.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But no other males. So these are the takeaways. No males on your Instagram.
Well, I wasn't finished. So we have the lessons.
Yes.
And we have
So what was the first lesson again you said you got from this?
Oh, just being, so what the takeaways are: first, lessons, understanding that even though this is all business, this is above board, the public may perceive something a certain way, and you just have to be aware of how they may perceive it, even if it's not that.
Correct.
So not to give the public something to make a thing when it's not a thing, and having to defend a lie, because now when people ask me a question about that situation, it's to defend something that absolutely never happened.
Yeah.
And you cannot defend a lie.
What's the next takeaway?
The next takeaway is just to make sure that it's everything is contractual, right? So even though if me and you are, my manager, just to make sure everything is contractual, even with the third party.
Next takeaway. If there's a next, I don't want to just line them up for you.
No, opposite of that, it's just, honestly, I think just overall, just to make sure that you're just not giving people things that they think are going on, not to let stuff linger, because I'm a very private person.
That's the Pisces in us.
Yeah, I'm a very private person, and again, I'm not doing anything nefarious. And so sometimes when
It might not be lying, because my daughter like that. She's a Pisces.
when I hear things, I'll say, okay, well, people are gonna just talk. I don't give life to it because it's not true.
Do you like a little bit of the attention?
I've always got attention.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
No, I've always got.
That's not what I'm asking.
No. I've always got.
You can't
attention.
modify my question. This is called perspective. It's my perspective.
And this is my perspective of your answer.
Okay. This is what I had to go through being her executive producer, y'all. This is what I had to go through.
So the attention from the negative stuff, absolutely
No, do
not.
you like attention from men?
No.
Okay.
I like attention to what I'm doing.
Are you happily married?
I'm definitely happily married.
Are you bored in your marriage?
No.
Okay. Just people, you wanted me to ask the questions.
They want you to be messy.
No. Listen.
Let's call it thing a thing. They want you to be messy. They want you to, hold on, this is the internet. They want you to be messy. They want you to be all in my business, and they want you to get something out of me that isn't there. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem in my marriage. Most of y'all didn't even know I was married, because this is why. And two, outside of entertainment, just like your girl Beyonce, it's none of your damn business.
Yeah, she keeps it tight sealed.
What try to, at least before the elevator.
Yeah.
But my point is the general public is only, with anybody that's in the public, is only preview to what you let them know. Now, a lot of them want to dig, a lot of them want to find something salacious, this and that. That's fine, because people like drama. But
do you think it was embarrassing to your husband?
To do what?
No, not to do anything. Do you think the
headline?
The memes, the headlines?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was embarrassing to me because it wasn't true.
Yeah. Did he express to you how he felt?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it was embarrassing to me because it wasn't true.
What did he say?
About
how he felt.
He didn't like it, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And
is that the reason why you walked away from the show with Anton?
No.
What was that reason? We're going to close this out. What was that reason why you walked away?
No, the reason why I chose to walk away is one, it wasn't true, but I don't need.
What was it true? The side chick?
Yes.
Okay.
The headline wasn't true. It was, and Corey said this out of his own mouth. I was just trying to get at he called him the N-word.
Sure.
And I understood it. I was the person caught in between, the casualty, whatever. But when somebody of that caliber says something and the general public doesn't know much about you, they can create all types of narratives.
Yep.
And so because they don't know much about me and they know Anton, he can get up on a platform and say, well, this is what it is, and so on and so on. When Anton spoke the next day, which was fine, because it had just happened. But when he spoke the next day, he was, so hype and boisterous from, what was happening with him that he didn't properly address what had happened to me. And being that I wasn't on camera, I didn't have a voice. And so I depended on the person that I trust to be my voice.
Advocate, yep.
And also being that you are on a big platform, everybody, for the most part knows Anton. So when you go to, it's either you don't speak about it or you speak about it. And when he went to speak about it, he didn't advocate. He only still boistered towards whatever Corey had to say. And I get the boistering, but my advocation should have been first.
How did you inform him you were done with the show?
Well,
you call him or email or?
Well, again, I had to process it first. Because again, I had never been involved in something that's everywhere like that. And on top of that, it's a lie.
Yep.
And so I had to process how I wanted to move forward with that. But I called Anton and I spoke to him like I would do when we have any other business dealings.
Sure.
And I told him how I felt, like I'm telling you right now, about, avocation and things like that. And from that point on, he called, well, I'm gonna see how you doing with it and such. But I just came to a point where I know that certain things aren't going to change because that's his platform, and I wouldn't want somebody to change their platform.
So how did he handle it? Was he just like, okay, if that's your decision, I respect it?
That's exactly what he said.
Okay.
Almost to the T.
Yep.
But he understood because.
Will you all remain friends? You're not working together. Will you remain in contact rather?
Will we remain cordial?
Will you remain in contact with each other?
No, we never had a relationship where he's just calling me just to call, just like we don't go out and chill just to chill.
But he can send you a message on a DM. Like, is he blocked?
No.
So he's not blocked. Okay.
No, he's not.
So he still has access. If he wanted
blocked.
to reach you, he has access.
He's not blocked. He's not blocked.
Yeah.
Because there isn't. I don't have a disdain or something like
Correct.
that for anything he does. And
you just ended your contract.
We just ended the business relationship that we had.
Okay.
And I'm not interested in bashing Anton, and I'm not taking away from what Anton did on the side that helped me with my journey, but everything has a season.
Yeah.
And I think just ours have come to an end because at this juncture, I can't trust that you'll advocate for me, being the, I was under your covering at the time. And that's what, I have to have in somebody that's a business partner, that's doing, my management or bookings, anything.
And he's
I
never
have to
met
know.
your husband.
Well,
I don't want to leave that out. I know you lined up everything else, but we need to always keep that a part of your lineup.
well,
Doing business with anybody, they need, particularly male, they need to meet your husband. Because as men,
I already, that was my first thing. That was in the lesson.
Okay, well,
So I addressed that already.
Okay, maybe I wasn't just listening as thorough, because I wanted to. I just wanted to.
You did, because you
Okay.
you went on your.
He's a really nice guy, and I want to make sure.
Everybody, but this is the first person that I've actually done business with that was strictly out of town.
Okay.
So again, that was a different dynamic. But again, like I said, I learned a lesson from it to either, I don't know, he has to fly, or the person I'm doing business with has to fly, and so they can cordially meet face.
No, the person needs to fly in to meet your husband.
No, I'm saying if I'm going out, maybe he flies. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He flies, or the other person can fly in, and then they can cordially meet together in person. But
okay, well,
that's where
Well, I want to thank you for doing this interview. I think you did a fantastic job. I put you under the heat. I pushed back. You pushed back. You was poised, and I appreciate your posture and wanting to make sure that you gave clarity to what the world and everybody else out there either want to believe, wish to believe, but you were here to annihilate all those negative beliefs. And I think you did it with class. So I want to, again, thank you, and I appreciate you for coming on. Look, everybody has a perspective, and I often say, what's yours? So in order for me to know what's your perspective, go.
Bro, this shit was funny as hell. I needed this fucking laugh, bro. God damn, that shit was funny. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up off this. As you can see, man, y'all tell me in the comments, do you believe Micca, or do you believe she just saying the right things because, she is married and shit? At the end of the day, you know what comes with marriage. If they find out you cheating first, he able to file. I'm not saying none of that. That ain't my business. Don't even care, bro. I just wanted to see this shit because I knew that shit was gonna be funny as hell, and it was. Call that shit messy. It is messy. Some messy ass shit. I usually don't do messy, but that shit was funny, dog. Sometimes I just be needing a good old laugh. I have to go back to my old ways and just get a little laugh in, dog. But y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. Do you believe Micca? Do you not? Women, do you find what she did acceptable? Do you find it do you believe everything that she was saying? They had met, Anton and the husband had met. Fellas, do you believe her? Would you accept that as your wife? Would you allow your wife to even be, how would you take that in that situation? You know what I mean? Is it, there's a lot of things that come from that situation. It could be embarrassing, whatever, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel. This is episode 111 of Same Goal, Different Struggles. I am your host, AJ. If I didn't say it at the beginning, please click the subscribe button, the like button, and I appreciate all my supporters. Appreciate all the love I got on my last video. And I'm out, y'all. Rest in peace to my brother Q, y'all.